Are you ready to do Melodious and Progressive number 11 by David Hite? Let's go! Welcome to Woodwind Ninja. My name's Jay. Today we are going over Melodious and Progressive number 11. We are in A flat major today. What does that mean? That means that we have 4 flats. There's 2 ways to figure out that we're in A flat major. The first way is to go ahead and read the title of the piece. That'll give us a clue. But let's say this piece wasn't titled A flat major. How would you know? Let me show you. If you don't already know this, this is a cool thing to know. We start out with flats. Always the first flat is B. Always the second flat that gets added is E flat. The third flat is A flat, and the fourth flat is D flat. Now to figure out in a shorthand way what the key of a flat key signature is, what's the name of that key, where does the scale start, we go to the second to last flat. They are always printed left to right, just like words, and we find the second to last. Here's the last one, D, and so the second to last one is A flat, A flat, and that is the name of our key. Now, as always, we're going to practice this scale. And here it is. Here's our range from low G to high C. But as usual, we're not going to start on the lowest note printed here. We're going to start on the tonic, which is A flat. So we're going to start on A flat. We're going to go up to high C. We're going to go down to low G and back up to A flat. Let's do it. Here we go. I'm going to put it right up here so you can see it. But wait. There's something that's going to be a little different. The way this is laid out, it doesn't land on the beat at the end. So we're actually going to play this up to D flat. That'll be up here. It's different than what the instructions are here. Not too much different, but enough that I wrote the scale so we can see it. All right, so up to D flat, down to G, up to A flat. Here we go. Terrific. Now, when we play this scale, and throughout this entire piece, we get to practice this particular fingering sequence, which is C, D flat, E flat, over and over again, or on the way down, E flat, D flat, C. So we are using this lever over here on the outside of our left pinky to play D flat. So we go C, D flat, E flat. I'm picking my fingers up a lot just to alert you as to where they are. I don't pick them up that much when I play. Hopefully you've already noticed that. Great. So that is where we are with that. There is this one instance here in this piece where we've got to do something different than that. And that spot is here. We get into a little trouble because we've got that normal sequence here, right? E flat, D flat, C, but then C, we're on our right pinky, just like we talked about, and we've got to go up to E flat here. That's a tricky one. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So let's get started. We need to learn all about triplets. So triplets, if you don't already know, are in 4/4 time, 2/4 time, 3/4 time, something with a 4 on the bottom. And normally we have 2 eighth notes in a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But with triplets, we've got 3 in a beat. And the way they show us that is they put the 3 notes together and they put a 3 on the top. That means triplet. 3 eighth notes in one beat. A triplet means 3 notes in the space that there would normally be 2. So let's go over this. Triplet is a great word because we can mispronounce it a little bit. And we can make it 3 syllables. Triplet, 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 boom. So we can just think of this as triplet, 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 quarter. Triplet, 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 quarter. Triplet, triplet, triplet. And there we have our rhythm. If you're well versed in triplets, this is not going to be a challenge. If this is your first time or you're relatively new to triplets, this could trip you up. Huh. Funny. Let's look at what we have here. Now that we've talked about triplets, I do want to point out which is a scale up and then a twisty-turny thing down. I use the term twisty-turny because that's what goes on in my head. It's not really a musical word or a musical term, but they don't all have to be. They just have to make sense to you. So that's what goes on inside my head. Scale up, twisty-turny down. So it happens once. And then it happens again, but up a step. Then it happens again. And then it starts out the same way, but it has a different ending. Up to our tonic. Beautiful 8-measure phrase, standard phrase length. As good musicians, we don't really want to play that all mezzo forte. That's probably a bad idea. At the very least, a boring idea. We don't want to do that to ourselves or to anybody that's listening to us. So I would suggest maybe ignoring the mezzo forte. And we want to end up at forte on that last A flat. So we really arrive there. That'll be much more interesting than playing everything the same volume. That's almost always, or I might say always, a bad idea. Okay, or at least boring idea. So there's that idea. So what you actually heard was crescendo on the way up, decrescendo on the way down, but each one was a little bit louder. So let's say this first started at mezzo piano-ish, maybe mezzo forte, maybe piano at the beginning, mezzo piano, mezzo forte plus, because what we would do is then make a diminuendo on the twisty-turny part each time. So each group of 2 measures has a little shape, but then each shape gets a little bit louder until we get to our A flat here, which is going to be nice and forte-ish, or maybe just forte. Moving on, here we are at our second phrase. Let's see how long our second phrase is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you know? 8 measures. And here is this incident of needing our right pinky 2 times in a row. Here are 2 solutions. You can use your left pinky on both of these notes. I know I said never to do it. Actually, I never said that. I said try and avoid doing it. And there's sometimes you can't avoid it. And here's one of them. So I'm going to play the whole measure. So we just slide our finger down to our left hand. C. Let me give you a better view of that. My clarinet's a little loud. It's a little loud there. Hopefully your clarinet's a little quieter. The other thing that I do sometimes, it's pretty fancy, and I've never heard anyone else suggest doing this, but I do it a lot. I finger that C, the first half of it, with the first half of it with my right pinky, the second half of it with my left pinky. It's challenging to even talk about, but in slow motion it looks like this. One more time. It does take a little bit of extraordinary practice. It's something that I've been doing for a long time. I believe I taught this to myself. Somebody could have taught it to me, but I have no recollection if I made it up myself or if anyone taught it to me. So it's only sanctioned by me, for whatever that's worth. And now again, in good music fashion, we've got the same thing that happens twice here, the same rhythmic pattern that happens twice, one step lower, starting here, and here, and then something different that happens, and ending again on our tonic, our A flat. So let's play through that little section just real quick. I'm going to start this one. We ended forte here. So just for fun, I'm going to give us a dynamic change and play piano at the beginning of this phrase. That works out nicely. I forgot to mention, or maybe I didn't notice, that, whoops, yes, there we go. We've got, I'm going to make that look nicer, excuse me. We've got this thing, which is the same shape, one step lower. You know, these patterns are found in music all over the place. It's good to notice them and play the music with the acknowledgement that they're there, so that everybody can hear it. We've got a little bit of the same thing coming up here with this and this just being 1 octave difference. We've got our only true accidental in both of those spots, our G flat. Same as F sharp. Here and there in the upper register. Again, make some sort of dynamic change. That one just sort of came out of me. I didn't plan it. But everything needs to have some sort of motion to it so it doesn't sound stuck. A nice diminuendo on the end if you want. I can't remember, I recorded this yesterday. I can't remember how I ended this. I may have put a crescendo at the end. I don't know. You can do either one. It really doesn't matter. But for our own entertainment and our own musicianship, we should put something in there that is something other than no dynamics at all, because they've only written this crescendo and decrescendo and given us mezzo forte at the beginning. The last thing, before you go ahead and play it with me at the end, is that I want to look at the articulation. We want to articulate this properly, but we don't want to show the articulation. Let me show you what not to do. We don't want to show every beat quite like that. We do want to articulate it, but we also want to make a phrase. Etc., etc. Because we are kind of tonguing, or more elegantly put, articulating on every beat a lot of the time. So we don't want it to be marked, but we do want it to be flowing, but still have an articulation. And there it is. There is number 11. Enjoy. This is a good one for getting our triplets together and getting really used to that fingering pattern. Whoops, I don't need to show it to you right there. I can show it to you right here. That fingering pattern right there. Thanks for being here at Woodwind Ninja. We'll see you next time.